brother says that his sister heard voices in her head that encouraged her to kill her mother. As Joseph Carey tried to console his little sister about their mother's sudden death, Nicole Nachtman was confessing to murder.
I shot him. I said, "You did what?" Like, I shot Mom and Bob.
Nachtman's brother took the stand as the prosecution's last witness and told the jury his sister confessed to him during a phone call, and she didn't appear to regret it.
She went into like a whisper, and she was like, "I didn't think I could do it, Joey. I didn't think I could do it, but I shot Bob. I didn't think I could do it." And it was just weird because it was in a whisper and almost sounded like she was proud of herself.
Carey says his sister broke down and told him about the screaming voices in her head.
Ever since she got back from London, her school trip, that she's had uncontrollable screaming in her head and like a high-pitched screaming, and that it was affecting her sleep and she was having nightmares from it.
Prosecutors say in August of 2015, the former FSU student left school and drove home to Carrollwood to kill her mom and stepdad, Miriam and Robert Dean. They say she killed her stepdad in the house and waited for her mother to come home the next day and shot her dead in the driveway, although she told her brother she got cold feet and tried to avoid her.
She mistimed it and ran into my mom, and my mom said, "Nikki, what the f are you doing here?" And she said she blacked out, and somehow she knows she did it.
Prosecutors say the motive for murder was fear of telling her mother she had missed the deadline to get housing at FSU. But only a day after the murders, FSU had called Nachtman to tell her they had granted her housing for the semester. Carey remembers what his sister said.
If I had only gotten the good news phone call about the dorms earlier, I wouldn't have had to do it.
Carey says days later, he went to visit his sister in jail, and she appeared relaxed and giddy, without a care in the world.
I had no problems looking in the mirror and stuff, and I've been able, and my head's been clear, and no stress, no anxiety. Been able to sleep better.
The defense says that's because the fear and threat was gone. They say Nachtman was a tormented soul who was under her mother's control for years and eventually snapped. But her brother says he never saw it coming.
I just remember saying, like, "Why did you have to do that? You had options. You could have called your uncle, you could have called your grandma, you could have called me. Why did you have to do that?" And I don't know what she said. She just kept crying. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Now, the defense did get Carey to admit that, in fact, his sister was fearful of her mother, and at times her mom could be abusive to her. In the meantime, the prosecution did rest their case today. The defense is now taking over.